Welcome to another episode of Father Roger's Fireside Christmas Tales. Tonight we're going to be reading a wonderful children's Christmas story by Lauren Long called Drummer Boy. So sit back, relax, and spend a few cozy evenings with me, drinking some warm, lovely eggnog and enjoying the fire. In a wintry little town, not far from here, a package was left on the doorstep of no particular home with a note that read, "Open now and enjoy the Christmas spirit early." That is what the child did. He opened the package and found a little drummer boy standing there, playing his drum. "Just what I wanted," said the child. And the drummer boy's heart felt warm. There's the little drummer boy, and there's the child who loved that gift left on his doorstep. The child loved the drummer boy and played with him all the time, and as often as he could, when it was quiet and still. The little drummer boy played his drum for the child. Boom, pum pum, boom, pum, boom, pum pum, boom, bum, boom, pat pat, boom, pat, boom, pat pat, boom, pat. See, there's the child and the little drummer boy just enjoying each other. Isn't that cozy and fun? Oh, and the dog too. One morning, the drummer boy was left standing on the nightstand, and the dog's tail brushed him off. Down he tumbled, right into the trash can. Oh no! It was not a good place for a drummer boy. He didn't know up from down. Then the mother emptied him into an even bigger trash can and put it outside on the curb. Before he knew it, two strong men emptied him into a big, loud truck, and away it went. The truck was cramped and bounced him around. But the drummer boy did not say a word. He just squeezed his sticks tighter and held his drum close. I imagine he was very afraid. There he is, falling into the trash. And there's the garbage truck taking him away to where I'm sure is the dump. Let's see what happens. And a good thing, because with a roar, the truck emptied itself into the city dump. I was right. The little drummer boy found himself standing on a mountain of trash. A grumpy old rat, foraging for scraps, looked right at him and snarled. Look at him. There's the drummer boy, and there's the rat. Doesn't he look scary? I would be so scared. But somehow I think the little drummer boy is going to be okay, don't you? Despite the rude greeting by the rat in that cold place, the little drummer boy gripped his sticks tightly and started to play his drum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum, boom, pum, pum, boom, bum, boom, pat, pat, boom, pat, boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. The rat's snarl softened, and he slipped quietly away. But the little drummer boy was only there for a song, it seemed, when an owl swooped down, snatched him up, and flew him out into the countryside to the top of an old tree and a waiting owl nest. There, hungry, screeching owls stretched their beaks at him. Oh my goodness. See, there's the little drummer boy at the dump, and There's the owl. He's about to swoop down, and now he's got the little drummer boy. I would be so scared. I'm scared of heights. Is there anything you're scared of? I think the little drummer boy is going to be okay, though. Let's find out. So the drummer boy started to play his drum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, bum. Boom, pat, pat, boom, pat. Boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. The owls grew quiet and drifted off to sleep. But before the drummer boy knew it, the mother owl returned and plucked him up and flew him to the city, leaving him there on the peak of a bell tower. There's the little drummer boy in the nest of the baby owls. But he wasn't there very long. Now he's on top of a bell tower. How strange. Night fell and the drummer boy was scared and alone. But as he looked out over the snowy city, it seemed to him that it was lonely too. And so he stood tall and played his drum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, bum. Boom, pat, pat, boom, pat. Boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. The city listened and was more at peace. Isn't that nice? A quiet, snowy night. So Huga. The next morning, a big wind blew in, and the drummer boy was blown off the bell tower. He gripped his sticks tight and held his drum close as he fell down, down, down. He landed in a snowy thorn bush. A thorn stabbed him. He couldn't move. And as he lay there, he watched day turn into night again. Poor little drummer boy. First, he's on the peak of a bell tower, and then he goes down, down, down into a thorn bush. He's had quite an adventure so far, hasn't he? All the little drummer boy could see was the sky, which slowly filled with stars. There he is amidst the thorns and the snow. Poor little drummer boy. What do you think he's going to do next? That's right. I think you're right. Ignoring the sharp thorn, he played his drum for them. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, bum. Boom, pat, pat, boom, pat. Boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. The stars twinkled at the beat of his drum. I love how the little drummer boy turns every scary situation into a comforting one. Did he fall asleep? For suddenly, a barking dog with large teeth was chomping at his neck. The dog tugged to free him from the prickly thorn bush and carried him off. After roaming the city, he finally dropped the drummer boy at the foot of a big snowman. There's the dog, just grabbed that little drummer boy and took him off. He certainly is traveling far and wide in that city, isn't he? Let's find out what happens next. He was left alone again in the cold night. As a blustery wind whipped by, the drummer boy looked up into the frozen snowman's charcoal eyes. There's the frozen snowman, and there's little drummer boy, so small compared to the snowman. And he played his drum for the snowman. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum. Boom, pum, pum, boom, bum. Boom, pat, pat, boom, pat. Boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. It gave the snowman a cozy chill. Everywhere the little drummer boy goes and plays his drum, he makes things cozy. That night, a raccoon carried the little drummer boy off to a place where there were statues and stones standing across a field covered by snow. I wonder what that could be. There's the raccoon. He picked up the little drummer boy and he took him to this place. Let's find out where that is. Do you know anywhere where there's stones, little stones and statues? Let's find out. The drummer boy didn't know where he was. He thought about the child and the warm home that he knew. He thought about the garbage dump and the rat and the owls in the city and the stars and the snowman with the charcoal eyes. The little drummer boy felt lost. Have you ever felt that way? Like you didn't know where you were at or where you were going? The statues and stones surrounded him, almost as if they were waiting. So, with a heavy heart, he played his drum for them. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum, boom, pum, pum, boom, bum, boom, pat, pat, boom, pat, boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. And the snow fell. In the morning, he was awakened by a familiar voice. "Merry Christmas, Grandpa." The child did not see the drummer boy at all, for he was almost covered with the newly fallen snow. But as the boy placed the flowers at his grandpa's grave, he saw something sticking up from the snow nearby. See? Turns out the little drummer boy was in a cemetery, and the child came the next morning to visit his grandpa on Christmas morning. What a good boy. And look, there's the little drummer boy, almost totally covered by the snow. "Mama, Papa, look," the child said with amazement. "My little drummer boy, out here in the snow." And he took the drummer boy home. Finally home. That just makes me feel cozy and warm on the inside. How about you? Let's see how the story ends. After Christmas dinner, when the candles were lit, all of the family gathered to sing songs. The child sat quietly with the drummer boy in the glow of the moment, and he suddenly was filled with the Christmas spirit. There he is, the little drummer boy, and look, he has a fire too and a Christmas tree. So hugelig, isn't it? Very hygge and cozy and warm. The boy rose and carried the little drummer boy over to the mantle where the stable stood and placed him gently at the feet of the baby. There's the little drummer boy. He's up on the mantle with all the other figurines from the nativity scene. There's Mary and Joseph. I wonder who that is in the creche. Let's find out. The drummer boy looked at the baby before him. He took a deep breath. Can you take a deep breath with me? And the drummer boy began to play his drum as never before. Boom, pum, pum, boom, pum, boom, pum, pum, boom, bum, boom, pat, pat, boom, pat, boom, pat, pat, boom, tat. And the little drummer boy's heart felt warm. There he is, playing his drum with all his might and skill for the baby Jesus. That's who was in the creche, the baby Jesus. And that's the story of the drummer boy. Thank you for joining me tonight. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Father Roger's Fireside Christmas Tales. God bless you.